Luigi's Mansion 3 walkthrough, and man, I know that everyone wishes Nintendo would release their games in 4K, but back when the Wii was the big popular console, everyone was also wishing Nintendo would release their games in 1080p, and I think by the time Nintendo releases a 4K console, the PlayStation and Xbox will probably have 16K capable consoles, if they even go that high. I mean, there is a point when resolution just doesn't matter anymore, because you just can't tell the difference depending on how far away you are from the screen, blah blah blah. Point is, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes it's nice just dealing with 1080p videos, because they are so much nicer to work with than 4K videos, and 4K is not unreasonable. My computer is more than capable of it, but it's just that the file sizes of 1080p are so much less, and if you make a mistake on a 1080p video, it takes way less time to fix it and re-render it, and I'm just still having bad experiences from trying to record my PS5. I do need to get a better capture card, so it is partly my fault, but I don't really want to spend $200 on that. So we'll see. Especially now, like, all the PS5 games are coming to PC. God of War is coming to PC. Is there a single PS5 exclusive left? I don't think so. I think maybe Ratchet & Clank and Ghost of Tsushima. However you're supposed to correctly say that word anyway. But it's only a matter of time for those games at this rate. Alright, so enough about absolutely nothing relating to Luigi's Mansion 3. The walkthrough is now on floor 3, I think is what we're on. It'll be in the title. And this is kind of Luigi Unleashed. We finally have most of the abilities that Luigi will need to complete most of the puzzles that the game is going to throw at us. And this is going to be the first, like, real floor where we don't get a whole lot of tutorial help. I think Egad may be helping us a little bit more than I'm remembering, but there is kind of the mall cop, and we're kind of in a small mall here. So we noticed that he had the button on his keychain, and he also had a key that has a specific shape. So that shape, if you can put it together already, is going to correspond to the different rooms inside of this little mall area. So this is a diamond, and the door has a star. So we need to find the star door, and there's going to be a hole we can look through here if you want to, and he'll have the floor 2 button with him. And it's pretty fun looking through a lot of those holes in the wall. Nintendo did a really good job animating a lot of that stuff. And here Luigi's going to take a look at the key. I don't think you can skip that part, but he's just going to go, that is a club, and we need the diamond, but this room has a diamond. So now we can come inside of here, but the door is still closed. So as we learned from the tutorial, we need to switch to Luigi to switch through the gratings. And then we're going to be able to stick the key inside of the cash register. And just being a pile of goo, I guess he doesn't really have any human emotions, so the ghost was a little bit confused why he wasn't freaking out, but the ghost also took our diamond key. No, heart. Was it the heart? Anyway, we'll see in a second. He took the key that we need, and now we have to defeat a small group of them to get him free. There's also a glass wall behind me, and there's a gem on the right side there. So you can try to break the wall with the ghosts, and if that doesn't work, you can stick a plunger on one of the briefcases and throw that into the glass, and that's one way to get that gem. But as I said before, I will be having a full video on how to collect every single gem in the game, and that'll be uploaded at the end of the walkthrough. So we need to make sure that we actually walk through the gate before we drop Luigi so we can pick up the heart key. And then the heart will be downstairs now, because that one's a spade. I think I said it was a club earlier, but that was just guessing. Anyway, that one's in fact a spade. So we gotta come down the escalator, and the heart's gonna be on the right side. And same thing, we're just going to switch out to Luigi. And if you're playing this level co-op, it's kind of the player 2 level, because player 1 doesn't really get to do a whole lot. And we're gonna head on over to the other cash register and open that one up too. So there's the spade key dancing around, and now we got to figure out how to get it. So we're going to notice there's a button or a light that's pulsing on the back side. And we're just going to light that up and be met with a large mound of gold, which is pretty cool. This game does a pretty cool job having a lot of wealth just laying around, and it's a lot of fun just picking it up. And then there's going to be a bunch of these little tiny ghosts, and they're not really a problem. You just have to flash them, and it's really easy to flash a ton of them at once. And then you get to suck up a whole bunch of them too. And there might be an achievement where you like flash a certain amount of them and something like that, where you flash a certain amount and suck them all up at once. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of achievements in this game. I think you can view them by now. Most of them aren't too difficult to get, so take a look at that if you want to. No, I'm not going to be doing an achievement walkthrough. I should probably look up what you get if you complete all the achievements, but based on the other rewards in this game, I would expect not a whole lot. And now that we have the Spade Key, we're going to walk back up the escalator, and then we're going to walk into the doorway yet again with Luigi and open up the third cash register here. There's going to be a bunch of these little orbs that are floating around, and then they're going to go into the cash register. And this is something else that can get a little bit confusing, especially later in the game. If something seems like it's missing, it probably is. So we can use the black light to reveal it, and then we're going to have to suck up those orbs to put it back together again. And those little orbs can damage you, so just try to be a little bit careful of where you're standing when they come out. So there's the club key, and that was pretty much all there was to that one, except now there's going to be a few more enemies, and I think the room will also get blocked off. So these ghosts are going to get a little bit smarter and wear sunglasses. And to deal with them, we just need to suck them off their face first, and then we can stun them and suck them up like we always do. So you actually get a choice. You don't have to beat the tar out of the ghost like I am pretty much every time I suck one up. You can just sit there and let it get sucked up for a while if you want to. And especially for ghosts with more health, sometimes that's more beneficial because then you can start beating the tar out of them. And there's an achievement, as I was mentioning earlier. Anyway, then you can start beating the tar out of them and kill them in just one attempt. There's going to be a particular type of ghost where that's useful to do on, but it can be hard to do just because you're going to be exposed for a while, and there's usually other ghosts around trying to bug you. So, in classic horror fashion, the escalator's going to kick on, and we'll just want to go down the down escalator. And then there's going to be the club room, which is currently closed, and we need to switch to Luigi and also have Luigi sucking air onto the club fans here, and we want to turn those scissors around so the door opens up. And now Luigi will be able to walk in. So we see this is, in fact, a barber shop, and there's not really anything too fancy, I don't think. We just gotta look around for that cash register. And just like in the last room, we'll want to reveal it with the black light, and then suck up those little orbs. And again, we are looking for the star key, so this one should have the star inside of it. There it is. Nothing else special that we have to do. We pick it up, and now we can head on over to the room with the mall cop. And this will also be the first real boss fight that we will be doing inside of this game. Well, since nice things just can't happen to Luigi, we're not going to be able to go up the escalator. It's going to be steaming hot with how fast it's working, and then we're going to run into this giant ghost that I forgot the name of. And you're not really going to be able to attack the guy from the front. You have to get him to a state that you can stun him with a flashlight and then walk behind him and pick up one of the points that are on his backside. And if you're playing with 2 players, both of you are going to be able to suck him up at the same time for double the sucking power. And I guess if you're particularly vigilant, you could do it in single player, but it'd be a lot harder. So this is a ghost that I was kind of mentioning earlier is sometimes beneficial to wait before you start slamming him around, because if I had just waited for 4 more of his health to disappear there, then he wouldn't have been able to get away from me. And here he's kind of stuck on the bench. He's going to do a slam attack that I have actually never seen them do before. And then finally I'm going to be able to get around and actually take him out. So there is an achievement to defeat that ghost in just 1 go, so keep that in mind if you want to try that out. He has 200 health, and this early on you only get maybe 60 points of slamming power, so you'd have to hold him still for 120 hit points of damage. But after a certain amount of time, they will escape, and then later on in the game, at some points that aren't really very clear, you start being able to slam ghosts for more than that. So not really sure what that mechanic's all about. But either way, we have the star key. We're going to head on over upstairs back here to the mall cop room, and then we're going to be able to open up the door and begin our first boss fight. And he's got a squirt gun, which, as you can probably guess, he will love to use against Luigi, but we need to switch to Luigi, so as I said, this really is the co-op partners level. And we need to head on inside here and take out his sunglasses first. He'll try to ram you with his stomach if you get too close, and I don't really know what happened there. I guess I didn't get his sunglasses, and then he kicked me out. So Luigi has technically unlimited lives, but he only has a couple of hits before he dies, and this guy will start shooting a lot of those squirt guns at you, those little water spurts, and if those hit you as Luigi, then you will have to spawn him again and then come back through. So I'm gonna do what I was mentioning before and just spend a little bit of time holding on to this boss just so I can get his health down lower, but I don't really think it's too possible to do this guy in one phase. I probably shouldn't say that because I'm sure speedrunners are probably doing everything in one phase, but either way, I'm gonna say for most people, realistically, this is probably a 2-phase boss, and both of his moves or all of his moves are the same no matter what state his health is in, so you don't really have to worry about anything new. It will suck him in once his health hits 0, and we'll get that lovely elevator button. And once we pick that up, we're gonna head on back to the elevator and get ready for the next level.
Huh? Haha, I did it! Got it. Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Suku suku, oui. Suku suku, oui.